Welcome to another episode of Neon Radio. I'm Reece.
And I'm Dan.
And this week we're reviewing Things Heard and Seen. An artist relocates to the Hudson Valley and begins to suspect that her marriage has a sinister darkness, one that rivals her new home's history.
Man, I don't know what it is, but for some angry dude with an axe that's going mental, what does it remind you of?
This movie takes so much from The Shining. It's painful, but it does it and makes it terrible. How can you take like one of the greatest masterpieces of all time in cinema history and just turn it into the most boring film?
Look, I was rooting for this movie because I thought, I didn't hear about it. I saw it was trending in the Netflix's top 10 in Australia.
Yeah.
I thought, man, this might be a good movie.
Well, also the fact is that, I don't know about everyone else that watches this, but when you don't know anything about a film, sometimes going into it, you're pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, but I wasn't surprised.
It's
bad.
It was horrible. And you know what? It's criminally long. Like 2 hours and 1 minute. I want the time back. Hey,
Yeah.
Netflix, the 2 hours and 1 minute, you got to pay that back to me.
Yes.
I'm not going to pay for that subscription for a month, all right?
You know what it's like? This is probably a bad analogy, but it's like when you get to you got a can of Pringles, right? And you're like a little ant, and you're just getting onto the rim of a fallen down Pringle canister.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the first Pringle, but you just can't. That's what it was like.
It's the weirdest analogy, but okay.
I know. It's like you're trying to grasp at something, but you can't get it because it's just...
We can say this. There is very few characters in this film that are likable. Her partner in the film is unlikable, the main guy, which I don't even know his name. This is how much I care for this movie. I do not know the names of the characters. You know what?
Look,
I have to get it.
Amanda Seyfried was good.
George.
Yeah.
I don't even like her in it. She has moments.
She was fine.
She has moments that are alright.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to the story of this thing.
It's horrible.
It doesn't know what it wants to be.
At all.
It's all over the place. And the ending, there's just no real payoff.
There's no payoff. No one actually gets any comeuppance. There's no. By the end of it, it's trying to be conceptual and thematic, and it's trying to be intelligent, and also kind of an art criticism.
Yeah.
But it fails on all fronts.
It doesn't work. The only people that get off good in this movie is the caretakers.
Pretty much.
Which is
the Veils.
It's their house.
Well, it's not their house.
Well, they grew up in that house.
Pretty much. They grew up around it. Also, what's her name in it? Willis, the young girl from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
She was probably her and guy from Mythic Quest? That's all we know him as.
The guy from Mythic Quest.
The professor. Yeah. He's like, they're the two people in this show that actually are pretty good. And it's crazy because how do you make this film and think to yourself, this is one of those movies that...
Yeah, I talked about it before. It's like, was this on the blacklist or the black book or the way they call it? Like, did James Wan pass on this and it went to these guys? But no, because these guys wrote this based off the book.
Yeah. But the fact is that the worst part of it is exactly what Dan brought up. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it wants to be a drama or if it wants to be a horror film. Like, it has so many moments that are horror-based.
It has jump scares, has a little, like, a rocking chair thing. Oh, then it goes to this seance, which is just utter rubbish.
I know what you were going for there. You nearly said it.
Yeah. I did. But it just doesn't work. It just feels like I said, there's one scene where Mythic Quest dude goes with Amanda Seyfried up the stairs. I just found that it was just...
you just were like, and
then the ring on the
too little, too late.
So we're spoiling the crap out of this movie.
Well, there's not really. By the end of it, it's one of those films that it brings up questions, never answers them, and it doesn't. The answers that it does give you,
it's trying to be too good on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it never goes the full length. Exactly like the chip thing you said before.
Yeah,
it never goes the full length.
It's annoying. It's like a little kid trying to climb up to the top shelf of the pantry, seeing all these goodness up there, but they can't. They can't reach it.
No, it's like a little kid trying to climb to the top shelf, and he sees the ladder, but he's like, just doing it with his hand, and he goes, whatever, and he just leaves. You're like, get the ladder, man. Like, you want it to be something, but you're not allowing it to be it.
You can, I guess, look, if you're watching this, you can sense our frustration.
Yeah.
And what I want to know is if you have read the book, which is, has glowing reviews.
Disposably.
Tell us what the differences are, because I'm keen to know.
Yeah, supposedly the book has pretty good reviews. There are a few things in this that it could have delivered on. It really wanted to be a movie that connected art criticism and the themes of the story.
Yeah.
But it never gave enough, or never gave enough meat for the film to do that and make it relevant.
Yeah,
and then when it did make it relevant, it didn't allow itself to be a part of it. It's like, guess what? This is what we mean, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it was just really odd. That's the best way I can put it.
And by the way, George is from the first few minutes of this movie, you hate this guy. He's so predatory. It's like you do not like him.
Yeah. Look, I think we're going to be honest. This is not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's not a good. I don't think I know anyone who's seen it that has liked it.
The chef that I have next door, she watched it. She's like, I want my 2 hours back.
Yeah.
She even said it.
Yeah. Well, look, the Rotten Tomato score, what's it? I think it's sitting at 35.
And it's 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah,
it's not good.
It's fitting. Look, final thoughts on this. For me, I don't like sitting down for 2 hours with not having a taste of a good apple.
Yeah.
There's nothing here for me. There was nothing, and I want that 2 hours back.
Yeah.
Look, there's parts of this that are good. There's a few things. It just falls down to that identity crisis. If this movie knew what it was going to be, I think it'd be better. But they just pieced things together. And that's why I want to know if someone has read the book. Please leave a comment, because I'd love to be enlightened. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, for me, look, last week I went pretty hard on Mortal Kombat, and I feel a little bad about that. I'm raising my score for Mortal Kombat, giving it like a 4, and it's unbiased review of 6. But this movie, and this was a reason why I kind of did that, because this movie's so bad, and it's bad in a way that it's just atrociously, it's wasteful. It's wasting your time. That's what it is. It's just such a shame.
I feel sorry for the actors. Imagine.
I feel sorry for the directors as well. I mean, at the end of the day...
But they wrote it.
Yeah, but they probably thought they had something. I see this movie...
They get screen tested, but...
There's things like The Ninth Gate I can see similar to it. Or I can see things like the Da Vinci Code. How they're trying to piece things together using history or art. But it never delivers. So, for me, this is a 3.5 out of 10. Far out, we've had a couple of bad weeks, Dan. with movies.
It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
Getting depressed on films alone.
Bring on Quiet Place 2 already.
Yeah, far out. Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to the review this week. Check out our Neon Radio podcast. We go into more depth with that. Damn, man.
Yeah, if you... like our stuff, follow us on Facebook and Instagram on Neon Radio Reviews.
Again, thank you for watching this week. And Dan, I'm giving you a moment.
Yes.
Can you take us out?
I've seen this movie and do not want to watch it ever again. Lights out.